down, put both feet through that, and just blow the knees. So, in the rehab world, this is the hip big three. Now, then you need to lay down your back. Right, now, position here. We have a straight line, shoulder, hip, knee bent 90 degrees. This is the position that the glutes have their biggest mechanical advantage from. They are strongest in this exact position. By having the legs straight, the hamstrings can get involved. By bending the knee, the hamstrings are taken out of this bit. So from this position here, we now do 25 clams. Out against there. Enjoy, take your time, nice and slow. 4, 5, and nice and slow, take your time. Really work the band. Now, keep going. You can count 25. Okay. This position here is where the glutes are going to get their biggest mechanical advantage. They will fire up beautifully. The idea here is we're looking at an activation series to set up, whether it be for deadlifting or whether it be for squatting, we're looking to get the glutes ready to perform the movements we're after. So you may have your quad and hip flexor dominant people. We need to activate these things because essentially where people are dominant in one area, that means that muscle wants to take over. Well, in the problems I'm going to see somebody who's so dominant in one thing that their weaknesses now have to be addressed. So, 25 we're done? Yeah. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go to a hip thruster. So that was part one. So you sit straight down off the end of the bench, butt on the ground, all the way down, hands across shoulders, and now you're going to drive up into a hip thruster and push against the band as you go upwards. So as you go up, yeah, watch the head, yep. Drive out at the top and then knees come back in as you come back down. Right, now all the way up, drive out. The most important thing is you go to about 15 of these, okay? Drive out at the top is to really get that last centimetre or two. Drive out, good, and down. Height. I want that last centimetre of height. That's where you're really going to find the contraction comes through. Good. Because we're basically what we call pre-activated in the supine position. So the glutes have picked up how to work. Suddenly we're going to put it into a hip thruster. People who have problems with their kettlebell swing, for example, this is fantastic to throw it then, because now the hips are going into the lockout position activated. This is great for strongman events where people are having to pick up stones or having to pick up kegs who are having problems with the hip drive. I will put them into this thing onto their task. Suddenly the glutes are excited, they're going to work. Okay, we'll call that 15, huh? Then, that's two of the big three. Number three, that was a position, of course, that ended up where the glutes are strongest. Now we're going to end up starting positions where the glutes tend to be weakest. In the squat position. So feet are wide apart, there we go. And your mission, lean forward, hands forward, and yep, stand up. Drive the hips back to the bench, knees out. Good, 15 of those. So we've pre-activated in the supine position, gone to hip thruster, and suddenly now we're going into the squat position. Well, the squat position is really where the action is going to begin, because this is where the person who's had knee problems has been basically complaining of. Well, we've pre-activated, put them into some strength positions. Now the glutes are going to be controlling that femur. And if you look at Danny's feet, notice how there's no pronation there. You often see people with knee problems, they pronate their feet inwards. This is what this is preventing. Good, so your knee position is good. All right, one more then. Good, and done. Success. Well done, thank you for that. Feel the glutes firing up a bit there?
Yeah.
All right, there's a bunch of bands over there. It'd be great if you all have a test.